Could try 4G, mate.
All right, hey, we are here the Liven Up Festival with Jonny Cadden over there in
Cadden. Everyone calls him Jonny Cadden.
How you doing, Jonny?
We're doing good. We're doing good. An hour later, what's happened is, as what happens with entrepreneurs on a Friday,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be at 3 p.m. UK, but now it's pushed to 4. We are Ramsbottom, just outside of Manchester, with my CTO friend Dave. Hi, Dave. Hi, guys.
How you doing, Dave? All right. So,
Dave's good.
Good. Hey, we want to welcome everyone to the first. Literally, this is the first ever Liven Up festival. This is on Founders Live, and Founders Live is a social platform for entrepreneurs and founders around the world to connect, to learn, and to collaborate. And before we get started with Jonny here, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the support and how other companies are coming together to make this possible. I want to give a shout out to Finanza, who is officially our first sponsor. Finanza is formerly known as Ideal CPA. They are a professional service for firm delivering growth, support, services such as CFO, controller services, back office support, bookkeeping, payroll, and growth forums targeted to small, medium, mid-sized businesses as an alternative to more traditional part-time booking. You can learn more at idealcpa.com, and we just want to thank them for their support in helping us provide this really awesome festival online. With that, I want to get to Jonny. Again, how's the afternoon for you, man?
What's that, sorry?
How's the afternoon going for you over there?
Got a lot of work done this week. Got some good stuff going with my festival. So now we're just on wind down mode now. Dave's constantly in wind down mode. That's what happens when you've exited businesses. But I'm still trying to get to the top, like clawing my way to the top. Dave,
That's awesome, man. All right, Jonny, so what I want to do is open up here. If you could just introduce yourself to the people that are maybe not familiar with you or Business Rocks. Tell us a little background on what you're working on here.
Yeah, London. And I kind of wanted to bring that American flavor, that South by Southwest vibe, bring together the biggest mix with magic for the last since 2000 end of 2014. We did a launch event in 170 people in April this year. And we got 2,500 people, 106 stages, got Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, over, you might have heard of him, and a lot of other speakers from Asia and after parties and all different kinds of...
Yeah, that's great, Jonny. You know, it's a little bit, the reception's a little bit cutting out there, so I'm not sure if everyone was able to totally follow that, but we just gotta hang tough here. I think going on from that, you know, why did you choose to be an entrepreneur? What drew you to really take this path as an entrepreneur?
I was a graphic designer and a web designer when I went traveling the world for a year. Old job back as a web designer. To pivot needed to Should we try? Georgie.
Yeah, you still there, guys?
Yeah, we're there. What I'm going to do is... Are you doing it? Hey, is that any better?
Oh yeah, that's definitely better.
So we've gone on to 4G, so is that better?
Yes, it sounds great. A
Boom!
lot better. Woo! Great work, man. Hey, you're solving problems over there.
Cheers,
all right,
Dave.
so great. Thanks, Dave. All right, let's just go from
CTO. He's a wizard. CTO. It's just like mind blowing.
We need these people in our life. You need us. We need them. All right, great. So let's go back to why did you choose to be an entrepreneur? What was the breaking point, or at least the point where you dove into this life?
Yeah, so I was a web designer and graphic designer at a local newspaper, and I was always trying to push to get into sales, like to go and selling websites for them and selling the upmarket printed publication that they've got, but I kept getting knocked back, and I went traveling for 365 days, went around the world, got my job back 2 days before I got home, so I've been away for a year, got my old job back, and I was like, oh my god, I'm still here and I'm on a crap salary, what am I going to do? So I thought I needed to change my life and get into sales, so I found out, I stumbled into recruitment, and then kind of like after a year as a junior, I was a top billing junior recruiter. I enabled him to scale his business to 10 people off my billings for a year, and then at the end of that year, when I think I've got 4 deals in a month, and my mum's fiance said, you've just billed this much commission and you've got paid this much, why don't you just set up your own business? So I lied to Barclays Bank. Told him I wanted to get a car. I got an £8,000 loan off him, set up in my back bedroom, and then pretty much had my life changed from there, and I scaled the business to 23 people. But then I got consumed by this big festival that I've set up, and that's the journey. Well, that's a bit of the journey, but it answers your question about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, totally. Why do you think entrepreneurship so compelling? Why do you think it's just like, why is it compelling to you?
It's addictive, like a drug. It's good. It's, I don't know, there's always, I think I'm really passionate about technology and stuff as well, so technology is always innovating, always moving. There's all this investment coming into the UK. Technology enables you to map the world, link the world. Look at us now. You're having your breakfast coffee and we're having a beer in Ramsbottom. Bet you never heard that word before. So I mean, you can achieve anything. I didn't know anything about events in 2014, but I thought all the events in my region are crap, and I want to make a South by Southwest event in Manchester. So you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. You're passionate, and you never ever give up, no matter how dark it gets. You just got to keep going. And there's that much funding, there's that much support, there's all the accelerators, and there's a big wide ecosystem of people that will support you. And you can basically achieve anything you want in this generation right now. And every day it gets better and better because there's more support services for you.
Yeah, I mean, it is absolutely addicting, and it's also what I tell people. I think entrepreneurship is the essence of self-discovery, right? You learn so much about yourself as you go through the process of challenges. Oh, look, we just overcame a challenge here, right? And now it's like, okay, we can figure it out in the moment. And when you were looking at the events market, what did you see that wasn't being met, or what problem did you see? It's like, hey, I need to start this unique thing. What did you see?
They did a national newspaper did an event here. This was the final straw that broke the donkey's back. So they had this event called the Telegraph Festival of Business, and you had to be turning over 4 million to 50 million to get in. So I lied, and I got in, and I put on the form that I was turning over 4 million. I got in, and I was like, oh, I was like a kid in a sweet shop, giving out my recruitment business card, bam, 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 bam. And I met this guy called Sir Terry Lee. He got a book signed, everything. It was great, and I thought it was good, but it wasn't. It was pants. It was boring. Year 1, Manchester. Year 2, Manchester. Year 3, they sold out on Manchester and took it to London. So I went to London, and I was sat in the brewery, it was called, in London, and they did the same event, and they had George Osborne, who's the Chancellor of the Exchequer. He was presenting at 4:30 for an hour, and he was on stage. It was 4:30. I looked to the side of me. There's this guy in this like wealthy suit worth thousands of pounds. He's on the back row. He's about 55 years old, and he's asleep like that. And I just thought, oh my God, this is just, give me a gun. I'm going to shoot myself now. So I thought, I'm going to do it. I'll do it better. I'll bring the biggest entrepreneurs in the world together with the sound of music and just rock the whole show, because it's ripe for disruption. So I just wanted to have fun while accelerating businesses and inspiring people, as opposed to the way that everyone else was looking at the event space.
Right. No, you just said, I think a very key statement is have fun, right? Like you identified that it shouldn't just be boring or the tried and true, what everyone else has been doing for years and years. You said, I want to have fun at the same time, have an educational, cool event, right?
Look at business now. Look at offices. Look at offices 20 years ago. Look at offices now. They've got fake grass. They've got beer gardens. They've got, they've got arcade machines. They've got everything. So, but events didn't move with that. So, not that I was into events years ago, but the only events I was into years ago was raves. But I'm not. I'm a different life now. I'm a respectable businessman, aren't I, David? Father.
I like that. Great. So let's go a little more detailed. When you started it, what were describe the first couple steps from idea formation to now incorporating the company. What steps did you take to go through that?
It's really funny actually, because this guy, his multiple business partner, who they've done multiple businesses with, and they do a lot of stuff together. He's called Damien. I was still managing director of my recruitment business, and I had this idea to bring together entrepreneurs and music, and I rang my mate, his business partner and mate up, and I went, Damo, I've got this idea. I'm going to bring together entrepreneurs and music, and we're going to inspire everyone. And it was on a Friday afternoon, and he's on the other end of the phone. He's like, I don't even know what he's going on about. I said, will you speak? And he's like, yeah, of course I'll speak. So that was the first phone call. If Damo would have said no, I don't know what had happened. But Damo said yeah. So then I got that, and I went to the next one, because I had a really good network in technology and entrepreneurship anyway, because of my recruitment. So then I phoned the next person, the next person, the next person. Then I had a speaker line up. So I thought that was the easy part. I thought, you get a speaker line up, everything's rosy, life is easy. Little did I know that I knew nothing at all, absolutely nothing about putting on events, nothing. But did I let that stop me? I don't care about things like that. So I just I went on a mission, and nothing would stop me. I'd run through a wall to get this thing sorted. So yeah, I already knew about forming the company from my recruitment days, so I formed a limited company, and then I basically harassed every single technology CEO in the UK and Europe and America, until they would either sponsor or speak or come or support, and that's what we'll continue to do now. But so that's a little bit of a long-winded version of your answer to your question.
I love it. No, that's hustle, man. So hustler. When is the next Business Rocks event, and where can people be attending or viewing these?
So we did the big one, which was in April this year. We got the Was Over. We got Jeff Hoffman, I don't know whether you know Jeff, Brian Fanzo, some amazing people, and some American legends. They arrived as speakers and they left as friends. That's key for me. They love us now. They are now Business Rocks family. Because we're not doing this thing to make a profit. We're doing this thing because we love what we do, and we're just going to rock the world and create the greatest show. So the next event is May 3rd and 4th next year. Okay. We're just about to raise £1 million. We've got some pledged already. So if there's any investors out there that that want to chuck in, we're giving 20% of the business for £1 million at the minute. And with that money, We're creating a new website because our current website's pants. I designed it, and we're going to create like a festival-style website. We're creating a content hub, which is going to be like TechCrunch, so that we can influence. You just got yourself a guest blogging spot on our You're a Contributor now.
Thank you.
Boom! We're going to get people like Fanzo and all our friends in America contributing on virtual reality, on entrepreneurship, on funding. And then we've also trademarked Manchester Technology Week, which is a week-long festival of technology. And then Q will go into either the USA, 2017 will go into either the USA or China. 2018 we're going to integrate USA or China. 19 we're going to integrate Middle East. So we'll have one event a quarter, and we'll be getting like 20,000 nerds at each event. Our vision for the business is we don't care about profit. All we're going to do, all we're going to do is invest back into the event. So by year 3 in Manchester in the UK, we'll be spending £5 million on a 2-day event and booking the killers and creating magic. That's all we care about. I've already got technology funds that we're talking to that total over £1 billion. The combined value of the funds that we're talking to have got over £1 billion to invest in tech businesses on the day. So we're going to change people's lives and accelerate business and have a lot of fun on the day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I mean, you've combined basically my 2 favorite things, right? And it almost, the moment I learned what you were doing, I was like, why has someone not done this before, right? Like, why are we doing a convention or a conference, a tech conference, and we haven't had music involved in the way that actually it should be, right? And how did you come upon that combination?
I just love music and I love entrepreneurship, and everything you go to is so corporate, dull and boring and soulless. So I don't care. I'm quite very, very, very crazy. And once we'd done our launch event, 170 people at the launch event in 2015, I told everyone in the city, I said, I'm going to book the biggest venue, I'm going to get the biggest speakers, I'm going after Mark Zuckerberg, I'm going after Elon Musk, I'm going after Noel Gallagher. And I got the walls, and everyone thought I was crazy. And we opened the London Stock Exchange the day before, and we've got to a very good point now. I've just phoned Virgin today, just before I was walking to the pub, and I said, am I okay to tell them we've signed an NDA? We've just signed a non-disclosure agreement with our biggest sponsor from 2016, Virgin Group, and we are going massive. We've got some things, we're working on some things with the Virgin Group that are going to blow people's minds, from the USA to Ramsbottom.
That's awesome, man. Love it. I love it. Hey, I can't wait. I can't wait to be at this next one, because I'm going to be there.
We're going to bring you.
Thank you. Hey, so in terms of what you've learned thus far, what are what is some very specific advice to early stage founders that you've learned thus far that are just now starting?
Keep the passion. It's all about passion. Your idea, you are your biggest salesperson. A lot of the people in this world, excuse my French, are full of shit, and a lot of people talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and don't do anything. You've got to be someone that's going to execute on what you say. Always be humble. Always treat people as you want to be treated. Don't be an arsehole. And don't listen to the naysayers, because there is a lot of negativity around, and people will say, that's never going to work, you're crazy, blah, blah, blah. You're going to get that all the time, but if you're going to innovate, if you're going to disrupt an industry, if you're going to inspire people, you've got to do things differently. And also, sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes you can just do things a little bit, replicate other things that work, integrate that into what you're doing, and roll with the punches, baby.
No, you're absolutely right. One of the probably biggest misconceptions is people think they have to do something totally new. But when you do something totally new, there is no equation. No one's done it before, so it's harder to actually execute on your plan or your vision. So what you just said there is, don't always think that you have to reinvent the wheel. Just simply do something better, at a better price, a higher quality, more excitement. So yeah, take what you're doing. You're actually taking a very old concept, but layering on a new experience around it, right?
What I would say as well is that you can become a brain surgeon in 6 months if you want. Immerse yourself in your industry and your verticals. YouTube will teach you to do anything. You just brainwash yourself. If you're driving to work, download listen to streaming podcasts like on tech.eu and listen to everything that's out there. Get to all these co-working spaces and accelerators in the verticals that you want to specialize in, and surround yourself with positive people. Look at your friends who you're with now, and someone says, show me your friends that you're knocking about with now and I'll show you your future in 5 years. Surround yourself with positive people that are into the same kinds of things that you want to be or where you want to be. There's a lot of supportive people out there that want to help and want to accelerate and will do anything to help you. The meetup groups are there. You just got to put the effort into hustle and get out there and network and help other founders, and they'll help you back.
Do you think that it's possible that a potential founder can like tiptoe into entrepreneurship and starting their own company, or is it the best possible success is actually just diving right in and fully committing out of the gate?
Yeah, I think like I'm on the tech side, so a lot of my answers are going to be tech from a tech point of view. So let's say you're a developer at, I don't know, Bank of America, and you're really shit hot and you've got an idea. Get to all these networking groups, get out there, do some research online because you're already on a nice comfortable salary, get proof of concept, get a mate that you went to university with and tap him up or her up and work on a concept and get a proof of concept going and get some users or whatever. You can develop a business in the comfort of your present circumstances, but also sometimes you just gotta cut the umbilical cord and just put your balls on the chopping block.
To say it bluntly, not specifically to those words, but I will say that I fall off on the side of what the last part of what you just said is. I think that there's a point in time where the person has to commit, right?
Yep.
And you have to fully commit. And I was telling this to someone else a couple weeks ago, is the moment you fully commit, really random serendipitous things happen to you, people you meet, opportunities fall in your lap that not otherwise would have been there if you were still like working your full-time job and trying to do something on the side, because you haven't opened yourself up enough, right? So yeah. I think you're right in everything you said, and at the end it really is, if someone's listening here right now and they're thinking like, man, I've been working on this startup on the side, at some point you got to fully commit. And I think that's what you learned, is that's why your business, your events are now becoming very successful, is because you finally at some point you dove in and said, we're making this happen regardless. And then you started talking to all these CEOs, you started getting all the sponsorships, and everything just started happening.
Investors need to see that you're fully committed. So if you're on a big salary at some big corporate, get yourself a little nest egg, get some money together, get your product nearly ready, and then just quit your job, get in. And if you're doing it, if you're living and breathing it 7 days a week, 24/7, as opposed to going in, because I mean it can do your head in when you're at a company and you know you've got this concept that's bubbling away, this baby that's growing at the side of it, and you can't get your head into it, so you've just got to quit your job and go for it. If you fail, you fail. So what? Do something else. Get another job.
Exactly.
Or get another idea. You might pivot and get a brand new thing that's even better than the first thing you started.
Yeah. So I've titled this talk, Why Entrepreneurship Can Save the World. And I think I actually believe that entrepreneurship does save the world. Do you agree with that statement? And if so, like, how do you see, founding and entrepreneurship really impacting our world today?
It's funny you should say that, because Jeff Hoffman, co-founder of Priceline.com, the fastest tech company in American history, it beat Apple and Google to get to $1,000 a share. He was one of our headline keynotes. He's now my friend this year, and he opened the stock exchange with us. And the night before we opened the stock exchange, when he just flew in from America, you was there as well. I was drinking.
Yeah, that's so
He was with me when that's brilliant. Jeff said, entrepreneurship, like if we was talking about like the most deprived places on earth and the war zones like Syria and everything like that, and we got on to what can change the world. And Jeff, he's a member of one of the biggest entrepreneur festivals. They get like 10 million membership, and he flies around the world doing that to a different city every year. And Jeff said entrepreneurship will change the world if you go to impoverished societies and you empower them with education and entrepreneurship education. They have the tools to accelerate their own ecosystems and develop. And he was saying that like people, they're less likely to go down the path of what we perceive to be wrong if they've got the tools to grow a family, to develop a business and earn money for themselves and be self-sufficient in that way and solve problems. And also entrepreneurship in turn solves problems where there's less water or there's no food, because he was talking about agriculture and stuff, but entrepreneurship does solve problems.
Well, yeah, it's amazing that he said that, and I think it's amazing. Like, think about this for a second. This is actually really crazy the moment you really think about it. But look around you. Every single thing around you was created by someone that had a vision, and someone that actually, and it was an entrepreneur or someone that was creative, and they ended up selling it. And so our entire world is ran by entrepreneurship. This building that I'm in, the chairs that I'm in, the couch that I'm sitting on, was created by someone and sold by someone, right? And so I think if you look at not only now the world right now, but the future, it's the same thing, man. And I think it's going to be even more important as our world has challenges financially or opportunities financially. The world will be saved or not saved by entrepreneurship or lack of it, right? So, and I'm going to take a little turn here just because I'm curious of the things that have happened recently over there in the UK. How do you feel about that, given that there could be some negative or unforeseen consequences of the choices that your government made?
From an investment perspective, which is driving everything, we know from like the Chinese that are investing billions into the UK. Some of the major multi-billionaires have sent message to the UK saying that they're not bothered. London, the UK still got a fantastic tech economy, and these specialists are still there. They're still doing what they're going to do in London and Manchester. The money's still coming to invest and keep accelerating. I was with a guy on Monday that's getting a £200 million tech fund. The tech founders that have exited multiple businesses that are putting up this 200 million, not bothered about Brexit. We're keeping trading, we're keeping building, and we're going to keep going. The tech and digital economy in the UK, they'll sort themselves out. The way I see it is, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. I'm still connecting with Europe. I've still got deals for Business Rocks, which are going to see, hopefully, like the European Institute of Technology, flying in 200 co-founders, investors, journalists, media from each different European country, and having like a learning zone at Business Rocks. So I've still got all my contacts over in Europe, and they're still going to be coming. They're still going to be learning. We still got to trade. Politicians just need to get the finger out and get things sorted. I let them do what they're going to do, because I just think you're going to get screwed either way and taxed. Yeah. So just get your head down, get some money earned, and do what you're going to do.
Yeah, so, maybe for others that aren't fully aware, like, what does change? Given the decision, what will change from, and I know it's going to be a few years, but what is actually going to change here?
They don't know yet. That's the negotiation. It's like the divorce. It's like saying, is she gonna get the house and or the Range Rover? That's I don't know. Who knows? They'll negotiate a good deal. People, like, we buy a massive percentage of the Germans' cars. Audis, BMWs. We've got trade links that go back forever. So trade is still going to happen. It's just the media spinning a load of rubbish out. Most of what's been said by the media is absolute rubbish. All the deals are still carrying on. There's been a little fluctuation in the market, but they've recovered. Life goes on. It's no biggie.
Yeah, you know, I think the lesson, what you're saying is actually, you know, yes, there's a decision that's been made, but keep doing what you're doing, and don't allow what you can't fully influence actually affect you in your business and in your vision, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, from my perspective, I think it's a good. Well, either way, I'm going to spin it into a good thing for Business Rocks, because Business Rocks is going to be the gateway for the world to look at Europe and the UK. We're going to have entrepreneurs flying in from China, US, Middle East, every country in Europe. They're all going to be flying into Business Rocks to interact with the biggest investors on the planet and the hottest tech founders. So we're business as usual. We're open, and we just want to embrace and connect with everybody. So Brexit doesn't affect us. We just want to. That's going to make me work harder to connect better, further, more, deeper, and emphasize and galvanize those relationships internationally.
Yeah. So take us out. Let's go between 5 to 10 years out. What do you see from your business? You know, Business Rocks, and then maybe the larger tech ecosystem. You know, take us 10 years out and talk about it a little bit.
Business Rocks will have a multi-billion-pound tech fund that is investing in seed. It will in 10 years it will be giving away 20, 30, 40 amounts of £50,000 cash on the day to invest in seed tech ideas. We'll be flying in the top university students from MIT, all the co-founders, and we'll be investing live on the day. We will be a fully fledged media platform like TechCrunch, and we'll have camera crews all over the world that are checking in with people. We'll have more than one event a quarter in USA, probably multiple cities in the USA, Middle East, China, emerging markets, probably Africa by then. That is Business Rocks. My belly will probably be a little bit fatter from drinking more beer. Where will technology be in 10 years?
No one knows, man.
Driving electric cars.
Flying cars, electric cars.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Who knows?
No, I love your vision, man. And you know, the more you get to know myself and what we're doing here on Founders Live, our visions are very similar, and our execution is just in various aspects of bringing the community together and making it more rich environment. But that's why I love your vision, man. And you know, I think what I would like to do is you know, continue to work together, and I am building a more digital presence and a digital community around the world, virtual entrepreneurial community. And what you're doing is, I love the fact that you're really, of course there is a digital experience to it, but you're really focusing on the real world, these events. You're bringing them together, and you're making an awesome, authentic experience around those events, like whatever country you might be in. So let's continue to work together.
Deal.
Yeah, and you know, so what I would like to do is close this out. You know, given the fact that we had a little technology challenges here, we're just gonna respect your time, and you know, we won't be taking too many questions from the audience. But I want to thank you, Jonny. I really appreciate your time. And where can people find you? Is there a URL website that they can learn more about Business Rocks?
Yeah, my email is jonny@business-rocks.com, or the website is br2017.uk, br2017.uk.
Great.
Always, I'm online 24/7, so yeah, happy to talk to anybody. And what's very important for us is building relationships with New York and Silicon Valley. Huge. I think we're looking at potentially Boston is shouting out really loud at the minute, and we don't know where we're going in the USA yet in 2007. Well, We don't know whether we're going to the USA or China yet in 17 Q4, and we don't know what city we're going to when we actually do go to USA. Boston is being pointed out to me as a place where we could cut through the USA noise and get greeted with open arms. Because New York, could we do that? Don't know. I'd love to go to New York. It's one of my favourite cities. Silicon Valley, could we do that? Don't know. There's a lot of big players out there, and we've not got the money. We've just got the passion.
Yeah. Well, you should. I'm just going to give a shout out to Seattle. Seattle is an incredible city, and
I did get told Seattle.
Yeah.
One of my friends works at Microsoft, and he said go to Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. All right, so I want to thank Jonny Cadden, Business Rocks. I want to thank. I'm actually sitting. Yeah. I'm
still going to the bar.
I'm still got my coffee here, but I'm sitting in WeWork. I want to thank WeWork for allowing us to operate here, and I want to thank Finanza for sponsoring this platform. And signing off, this is Nick Hughes, founder of Founders Live, and we're here at the Liven Up Festival. Thank you, Jonny.
Take it easy, guys. See you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.